Hello and a warm welcome to Mr. Retrohead's Gaming Emporium first episode. Yes! Right, let's have a look at what's coming up on the show. To start off, we're going to have a mini review of the new Team 17 game, Golf with Your Friends, which is probably good considering the fact that we're all in the middle of lockdown. We want something to really get ourselves away from the dreariness. So here comes a mini review of Golf with Your Friends. Blacklight Interactive and Team 17 bring out Golf with Your Friends, a 12-course spectacular, basically for around 16 quid, which is great for the time when we're all stuck in lockdown, and it's something simple to play, something simple to use with a lot of people around the world to basically stop you from going mad. Although, to be fair, there are moments where you can go mad playing this online, but I'll explain that later. Also, mods like Dunk in a golf game, which is the one that's on just now, completely pointless. The hockey one isn't too bad. Party is sort of like Mario Kart with golf. Don't think it really works for me, but then I am a bit of an older generation man. I would rather be playing something like the golf club, but this is good fun. If it's a good game for maybe to have the whole family around, so that is also a good thing. Presentation wise, I don't think graphically it really sort of grabs you. It's something that an Xbox 360 could do in its sleep, let alone an Xbox One. It's almost like it's a game that was made for a mobile phone. But the funny thing is, I haven't actually seen it available for a mobile phone, but it looks like something you just expect an in-ad purchase to, to come up telling you you've got to go and play this other game. That's what it feels like. But in terms of the actual control system and everything else, it's fine. Playing with friends online is fine, that you know anyway. Playing with friends that you don't know can be irritating, because if they decide to not play at all, then you can be stuck there for at least 2 minutes per hole waiting for them to do something, and I've seen cases where 3 or 4 holes in they're still not there and you've still got to wait for them, which is something I think they need to address. Do I think it looks great? It's alright, but again, nothing spectacular. The music grates on you after a while. I turned it off. I only turned it back on for the sake of the review, but it's not the worst game either. It's actually alright if you're playing with a group of people that you actually know. So maybe when you've got the family coming round after lockdown's finished, this could fit the bill quite nicely. Average run of the mill, 6 out of 10, and you can get it on the Microsoft Store, PS4 Store, and also on Steam, if you so wish to do so. There'll be more reviews coming next time on the channel. And I get through all of that without one golf joke. Stroke of genius. Yeah. Anyway, we move on to a piece I like to call Overhate and Underrate, which is all about a game that I don't think gets the credit that it deserves. So, without further ado, let's take a look. The first game that I'm going to choose for Overhate and Underrate is Tom Clancy's The Division 2. The fact it only came out at the beginning of last year and pretty much within about 3 or 4 months was already down to silly money, and the reviews were sort of average at the time, and it made me feel a bit confused because I couldn't understand why a game, when the original was so good, became such a quick churner of low price just to get out the door. And after playing it on not just one format but 2, I've got it on PS4 and Xbox One, I can't see why. I mean, you look at the price of it now, you can pick it up for £10 on PS4, you can pick it up for 15 quid on the Xbox One, and this is only basing it on the fact of a recent visit to Tesco's to get essential food before anyone starts complaining. Now, there's just so much in it. I mean, there's times where you just want to stop and look at the scenery, because there's just certain moments where it just looks absolutely amazing. Bearing in mind it's nearly over a year old actually, and you fight in really random places, but they're all based in the Washington DC area. I'm not going to go too much into the story because the game itself albeit the story is decent. It doesn't really open up until level 30. I'm not going to tell you anything about it because you'll need to buy the game and find out for yourself. But once you hit level 30, the game expands exponentially. I mean, there's enough to do as it is. That's the basic map. That's the basic amount of stuff to do. You've got the strongholds after that, you've got all of the main missions obviously, you've got side quests, you've got territory control, you've got conflict if you want to do PvP, you've got a raid. Once you get to level 30 in World Tier 5 you can do that. The expansion pack has got tons in it if you want to go that far. Bear in mind you can get the expansion pack and the game for more or less the price of a full price game nowadays, but even if you don't want to do that, for a tenner it's a steal. On PS4 especially, but even 15 quid's fantastic. There is so much to do. I've spent about 4 days game time playing this, and okay, it does sort of act in a parallel world. There are talks about things like lockdown and, you know, preparing for not seeing people for a long time, as you'll see in a second, but in terms of the actual game itself, it's still solid, it's still great. It has the usual Ubisoft glitches, of course every Ubisoft game does. I had one recently where I couldn't kill a guy because he was trapped in a shed, which is a bit silly when you think about it. But I found a way around it. You did a workaround. But I can't see why people don't buy this. There's still enough people online playing it, which is a great thing to see. But I don't know why there were so many people that went, "Oh, it's not as good as the first." To me, it's every bit as good as the first, if not more so. But the best thing to do with The Division 2 is play it with friends. If you play it with friends against the computer on a PvE basis, it is absolutely head and shoulders above a lot of stuff out there. It shows Destiny how to do things properly in certain respects, but you have to take my word for it. You can go and buy it yourself. But what I am going to do is I'm going to leave you with one of the PEDs, as I call them, or personal electronic devices, to give a bit of reflection in this day and age.
Oh, that's easy. Malasadas.
What are malasadas?
Portuguese donuts, basically, but that's doing them a disservice. My friend's mom made the best ones I've ever had. God. I wonder if she's still alive.
I'm sure she's fine. I mean, it's an island, so it's completely feasible they managed to keep the virus down. Plus, doesn't Koei have like a 365-day growing season? They got really good odds.
You're probably right.
Of course I'm right.
I'm literally about to cry because there's a chance I can eat my friend's mom's malasadas again someday. How pathetic is that?
Not even a little bit, Kelso.
Thanks, Manny.
So Division 2, a game that you can pick up relatively cheap now, and for the amount you get, is so worth it, really is. Anyhow, on to the next thing. Final thing for today is a thing I like to call Give Me Credit, which is literally like the old school arcades. I get 1 credit, just the one, and I get to see how far I get in an old arcade game. You can choose, obviously, if you want to comment in the channel below. If I have it, I will certainly give it a go. And here we are. It's actually quite a good one today because it's based upon the fact that Mortal Kombat's got a new character. Let's have a look at this.
I'd buy that for $1.
Right, Give Me Credit starts with Robocop, made in 1988 by Data East, the year after the pivotal cult movie classic, starring
Serve the public trust,
as
protect the
the main
innocent, uphold the
hero
law.
of the film. Apparently there's rumour that he's going to be coming back for another film, but I've seen some footage of him recently, so I'm a little bit concerned if he does. But everyone knows the story of Robocop. Alex Murphy, first day of duty in old Detroit, gets gunned down, turns into robot, saves the day, usual thing. So it came out in 1988. I thought it looked really good for a film license. Everyone knows, especially in sort of console and computer times of the late 80s and early 90s, that movie licenses never ever worked properly, or they were always a bit garbage. So it was nice to see this one do so well. So without further ado, let's get stuck into it. 1 credit in, and off we pop. So you know the story, just blah blah blah. This is like the PG version, so you don't see the worst parts of it. It was quite brutal back in the day, wasn't it? That's one thing I do remember. It was extremely graphic. But it was the film that started Paul Verhoeven's Hollywood roller coaster, because he ended up doing Basic Instinct after that, didn't he? Showgirls. Although the less said about Showgirls, the better, probably. But I can usually get by. I can usually get by level 1 in this. But that's usually it. No matter how often I try. Well, there used to be a case I couldn't even get by it 9 the first time down. But when this came out in the arcades, I was useless at it in the arcades. And I'm still useless at it now. Should have let people that could, show me how to do it. And I'd be like, fair enough. Well, I'm doing no bad actually. Oh. You can't get me with a punch. I'm a big massive cyber robot and I've got a punch. There you go, that's how good life is. There you go. Now you've got to try and get rid of this as quickly as possible, because the one gun that will work is a standard gun. Punched him.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Punch him in the face. Wish they'd done that in the actual movie, that would have been a lot funnier. But then, having said that, falling down the stairs was quite comical. So here we go, the level I can't get past.
You are under arrest.
I'm just going to go, let's shoot him. Shoot the walls. Shoot guys. Oh, there was also guys with chainsaws. Chainsaws. I don't remember chainsaws. First one. If somebody can tell me that, then please do. Oh Jesus! I was alright up until that point. Oh come on! How many flaming guys do you have? Stand still, you. There you go. One laser takes 3 normal guys out, or it takes the guy with the chainsaw after about 2 shots in a pack of crisps. Right.
You are under arrest.
Just keep Jesus. It starts like manic in a minute. Oh no. There we go. Oh, how did it go? There we are, got him. Right. Now it gets quite manic. It's such a grenade! Oh my god! There's some of the things I just don't understand. Oh, no. Oh, grenade! Right up the chuff. There we go. Let's give me credit, ladies and gentlemen. Tell me what you think. If you think it's great, brilliant. If not, I totally understand, but I'm going to leave the final word to the one and only Mr. Robocop himself. Cheers!
Thank you for your cooperation. Good night.
And with that, that is the end of this show. I hope you've enjoyed the first episode. If there's anything you want to see on the show, whether it be article, review, anything, leave a comment below. Subscribe if you want to. And hopefully I'll catch you again soon. Thanks for tuning in. See you later. Bye for now.